Thank you. Thanks for joining. We are joined by Robert today. Robert, I hear you're a fan of EVs yourself. Why is the EV rally important?
Oh, I mean, I think it shows the wide variety. For one thing, it's the variety of vehicles that are taking part. So there's obviously all the cars. And there's a lot of cars. There's a couple of cars I haven't even seen before that you're using, but also the trucks, the vans, the buses. You know, those things are equally important and are, becoming more and more electrified. I can't remember, it's over 2,000 double-decker London buses are now electric, which I think people don't even notice. It's just a bus, which is how it should be.
Yeah. Any cars taking your fancy today that you've seen?
Well, I just drove here in a little Renault 5, which is the first time I've driven it, and it was just peachy. It's very nice, but it's still got about 8 levels of buttons and software I haven't worked out.
Haven't quite worked out.
Every time I get in, I go, oh, that's how you do that.
Yeah, there's a lot going on sometimes.
But there's some, there were Polestar 4.
Yep, saw that.
Beautiful. I have had one short go in that one of those, so that's stunning. I mean, there's some really, and I drove this all over Australia.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Amazing car.
Yeah.
And my missus is about as interested in cars as I am in. I can't think of anything I'm not interested in to that degree. Very low level of interest. But she said, oh yeah, that one's all right.
Okay.
Which for her is an amazing 5-star plus review. So, because normally she hates everything, and why do you, so
that's not bad. You can't get much better than 5 out of 5. 5-star.
Yeah.
We were trying to be fuel efficient. So there's 50 cars driving up. I was in this blue one here.
Right.
What would your tips be for fuel efficiency?
I mean, I think drive at the speed limit, which not that many people do in this country. Because when you do drive at the speed limit, because that Renault 5's got a really good little button that stops it going any faster. So on the motorway it'll do 70, won't do 71. And then all the time I was driving at 70, which is the legal speed limit in the UK, phew, 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 just hundreds of people overtaking you.
Flying past.
And actually it takes maybe 2 minutes longer to do a long journey. It doesn't take 2 hours. That's the kind of, there's a lot of myths around, I have to thrash it down the motorway just to get there. Okay, well, you'll get there probably 1.5 minutes before me and use twice as much energy or fuel.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I think stick to the speed limit seems to be, which is so boring. It's such a dull thing to say, but unfortunately, it does work very well. Well, when I set off on the journey, it tells you what you're going to have at the end, and it said 12%. Which is fine, so I wasn't worried about it. When I got here, it was 20%.
Okay.
So it was expecting me to thrash it, like all the other drivers who've been in it.
Very good. Okay, so keep to the speed limit. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
and like, while we're talking myths, because you mentioned myths, are there any surprising myths you've heard out there? Things that we need to dispel a bit?
Oh gosh, I mean, there are so many. There's no chargers anywhere.
Yeah.
So then you come here. Well, there's one or two.
There's loads.
Here.
We're in the middle of a huge
45 of them. You have to throw the batteries away after 3 years. That's still stayed in there occasionally. I mean, all those are they're getting less and less. I need to be able to drive to Scotland and tow a 72-ton trailer up a mountain. Okay.
Another one.
Yeah. So they're gradually wearing down. So I'm really seeing a shift in general public opinion. There's always going to be some people who will die not ever having driven an electric car, which is fine. No one cares. But the majority, I think, in the next 10 years, will see that shift over. It's inevitable now. It's too, if you wanted to stop it now, which obviously some large industries would love to, they know it's too late. They know this is the future. There's nothing you can do, really. It's just better technology. It's not perfect. You can still have traffic jams. You can still, where do you park them all? There's a lot of other parts of our relationship with cars that maybe is worth investigating in future generations.
Absolutely.
Do we all need to own our own car? Those sort of things. Car sharing. When we've seen really good car sharing schemes, you then think, don't really all need to have cars, which is not a good thing to say to big manufacturers, I've learned, because they quite like us to all have cars. But so it doesn't solve all the problems in the world, but it certainly helps a great deal.
And when was the kind of light switch moment, or the switch for you, when you thought, oh wow, I think I'm actually really invested in EVs?
It's not. I think there's been dozens over the last few years, and I started much too early, so there was no charging infrastructure. The cars had lousy range. All the criticisms that you could make of electric cars now were relevant and true then, and they're not anymore. So it's been a sort of steady drip change, and I think what you're seeing now, I think when we went over 1 million electric cars on the roads, everyone sort of went, okay, so there's 1 million people using them, and they're not all standing on the side of the road crying like Jeremy Clarkson said they would be. They're absolutely fine. So, that's changing, I think. The attitude is changing. And then the range of cars is ridiculous now. And I've just been in China earlier this year, and when you see what a city is like when there are really one or two combustion cars or vehicles, a truck or a car on the roads among 100,000 electric ones. You go, they really stand out. They really smell. They're really noisy. They really need to go away. Because we saw, we would see 200,000 people on scooters, and there's no noise. You can hear birds singing, and the air smells like we are here. We're out in a kind of rural area. You're middle of Shanghai with what's 29 million people in Shanghai. It's insane, and there's very little pollution. And 8 years ago, there was horrendous pollution. I mean, it's not that it didn't happen there; it did happen there, and they've cleaned it up. Really remarkable to see what they've achieved there.
Great hearing your knowledge, Robert. And is there anything you would want the kind of average member of the public that wasn't aware of an EV to be aware of? What would you want them to know?
I think it's just that it's basically a car. That's one of the key things I remember hearing when we first started organising test drives. I'd speak to people who'd never been in one before, and they went, oh, it's just a car, but it's better. It's easier to drive, it's quieter, it's less stressful, all those things. And I think that's the key thing, is that we've invented cars. We're never going to get rid of them. We maybe need to use them in a slightly different way. But the thing is that it's just a better car. And once people have had a go in one, no matter what their prejudices are or whether they think they're good or bad, they generally go, oh right, okay, it's a car that goes along, just like the one I drive normally, but it's easier and nicer and quieter.
Very true, and less pollution.
And
you've got one or two EVs yourself. Would you ever be caught singing karaoke in the car?
No, I'm not a big karaoke, but I wouldn't be caught singing karaoke. I have had to do it.
In or out of the car?
I've had social pressure in a bar.
Have you? Okay.
To do it, and after about a minute, everyone just said, no, you don't need to do karaoke.
You don't have
You're fine.
Did they have a particular song?
I remember singing Billy, Don't Be a Hero, whatever that one was. I can't remember that one. Oh, that was bad. No, it was embarrassing. It's humiliating.
Okay, so we won't make you sing in a car today.
Please don't.
Well, thanks for joining us here at Instavolt in Winchester.
Yeah, thank you very much, Instavolt in Winchester. They've just filled up my car.
I know, there you go, topped you right up.
Yeah.